Hey summoners, make sure that you're subscribed to the Mobalytics YouTube channel and hit that bell button, that way you're always up to date and part of our notification squad. Good morning summoners and welcome back to Mobalytics, where today we have the patch 9.7 tier list where we're going to tell you about your favorite heroes and which heroes are the best in each of the 7 roles in League of Legends. Starting off in the top lane, we have Hashinshin. Trundle, of course. We have Riven, who is not at all a good champion at the moment. In fact, I recommend not playing Riven at all. 57% win rate, 200% pick rate. This champion is terrible. I would recommend staying far away from it. Kleptomancy number 1 and Kleptomancy number 2, always good. NA Jace as well. Great champions there for sure. Now, one of my favorite champions on this patch is 0-10 Power Spike, and the reason this champion is good is because the more times you die, the stronger and stronger you will become. In fact, sometimes you do see them get strong at their 0-10 Power Spike, but I would consider double or even triple and sometimes quadruple death numbers to be effective, getting to your 0 and 1000 Power Spike. Your build and rune page looks like Glacial Augment. The reason this page is good is because the more that you slow someone, the better chance you have of killing them. Damage is overrated on this champion, and because you have infinite mobility, all you need to do is get in range and slow them. I also recommend checking out Hextech GLP and Twin Shadows. I'm sure you've seen that build on other champions, and it's fantastic for this guy too. As for Forest, this position is always a good role and never receives any changes, so typically this role will have their champions stay where they are. We have elo boosting, we have LCS, autofilled, who's always a great autofill option, we have D-Gates, Flubber, AFK farming. In fact, I think AFK farming is usually pretty good in competitive play, so if you like to watch high elo and top of the line challenger and LCS gameplay, recommend checking out AFK farming. Let's talk about Jungle Janna. Now, Jungle Janna is an absolute menace, just a monster in the 1v1. If you've ever seen this champion in your games, usually they will be constantly invading your blue, your chickens, your Krugs, and if you've ever seen Jungle Janna 1v1 a Kayn at his own red buff, you kind of know what I'm talking about. This champion has absolutely no outplay potential in the 1v1 because you would just get run over. They're going to steal your camps, your girlfriend, anything like that. And also I recommend checking out Tiamat because this is a great item to help your clear speed increase and reach your level 18 in a matter of 2 to 3 minutes because this champion clears the jungle very quickly. Next up on our list, I want to talk about this champion, who is just too slow. The reason this champion just cannot succeed right now in the current meta is you typically just don't go fast enough. Even with Predator, Moby Boots, anything like that, you just will not be fast enough to catch up to people and you will get kited very often. That's why I recommend taking Flash as well for your summoner spells. It's super important that you have Flash because you have no mobility whatsoever and you're just too darn slow. Also, this champion has another inherent problem. You see, recently, Riot actually did give this champion buffs on 4 patches in a row where they, type it in the back end or whatever. But here's the thing about Riot, when they make changes and they buff champions 4 patches in a row, actually what they do on the back end when they code and put it in is they typically do it incorrectly and backwards, and it ends up being a nerf. So this champion just got much worse on the recent patches and you should stay far away from them. Alright, I'm going to hand it over to my brother Cletus, who's going to go ahead and do the rest of this tier list, so make sure you guys show him some love. Alright y'all, moving on to mid lane. This time we got a couple of cool, interesting champions. We have Bjergsen, we got Trundle, we got enemy team Yasuo. Always got to watch out for enemy team Yasuo because it's going to be better than your team's Yasuo. We got some of the most important and fun to play champions. We got Annie, we got Weeb, we got Pobelter, and Waifu. This waifu, ooh, that is one really good image right there. That's a real waifu right there. We got Sylas in B tier because Sylas sucks, and Sylas is a terrible champion. Don't recommend anybody to play that champion. He's in all 4 difficulties all over B tier because I cannot tell you how hard to play that champion is because my Sylas always ints and enemy Sylas is always legendary, so I don't know how hard it is to play. Now, this champion is one of my personal favorites in League of Legends because it is always fun to play against. You get hit by the bubble, and then she one-shots you. And the reason that's fun to play is because it's kind of like dodgeball. They throw the bubble at you, and as long as you dodge it, you win. But most of the time, when I play against this champion, I don't usually dodge the bubble, and I get hit by it and then one-shot. And then the worst part is when I flash away and she takes my flashes. That's just a lot of fun. I just like watching the animation. Even if I die, even if I int versus this champion, it's still a lot of fun. As far as the bottom lane tier list, I really like a lot of these bottom lane champions as well. Trundle is a mainstay in the bottom lane carry position. We have a couple of other cool things. FF15 is always good. I recommend playing him to reach the highest elos and win $10,000. And I also really like this other champion in S tier. We have this really hard to play champion. Right now, this champion is just a little bit too difficult, which is why we like to recommend it for our low elo brethren. I really think that she is just too hard to play and doesn't do enough damage. If you've seen this champion play with Press the Attack, Blade of the Ruined King, and your Ginsu's Rage Blade, typically this champion just does not do enough damage ever. Laning phase is just too weak, late game is even weaker, and Condemn is not at all a good or fun ability at all. It is just the worst ability in all of League of Legends and is not good for self-peel. This champion has no outplay or 1v1 potential, so I recommend staying far away and picking an actual good attack damage carry such as Callista. And finally, in the support tier list, we've got a couple of good S tier supports we really like. I really like Trundle as a support, of course, always a good supportive champion. We've got Box in there as well. Definitely a good supportive style champion. In fact, let's go into Box a little bit because that's going to be my pick of the patch. The problem with this champion simply is being that they do not heal enough. It would be great if this champion's ultimate was on a 10-second cooldown as a nice buff. I believe it's actually on the PBE right now as we speak, so thank you Riot Games for doing that. I like playing this champion. She is one of my favorites. That new Star Guardian and Winter Wonder skin is really cute, and if you buy it for your girl and she uses the icon, make sure you tell her that she also looks cute. As far as the rest of the support tier list, there are some really good things in B tier that are underrated. I currently think that Mercy is a fantastic support for y'all to play, as well as Useless. The name might be useless, but the most important thing, and the most important thing to remember, your teammates may tell you if you pick Useless that you don't have any CC, you ain't got no crowd control. But remember that the best form of crowd control is damage, because the enemy team won't be able to get on your carry, and the best form of peel is to kill the opponent. So just remember that. That's just a good old tip from your boy over here at Mobalytics. Anyway, that is pretty much going to wrap it up for today's tier list. Thank you all for watching. Make sure you use the product at mobalytics.gg because it's your all-in-one platform for improving and getting better at League of Legends. Anyway, we'll see y'all next time.